is a presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are Detroit.
Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by Bell Tire. There's a reason why Miguel Cabrera is considered the best hitter in baseball. And last night, he provided another sample. A 4-hit game for Miguel. 44 times in his career now, he's put up 4 hits in a ball game. Cabrera and the rest of the Tigers getting set to do battle here today. Welcome to Target Field. It is Game 3 in this series. The Tigers and the Minnesota Twins. Hi again, everyone, and welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Pebble alongside Craig Monroe. Glad to have you with us here for the third and final game of the series. Bats have been booming in this series without question, Simo. 17 runs in the first 2 games. Look to the middle of the lineup and look what they've done in this series. It's been pretty good.
Well, Tigers fans wanted offense. Well, you got it. And it starts with these guys right here in the middle of the lineup. They have been doing major damage, hitting fastballs the opposite way, staying back on breaking balls, driving the ball out of the ballpark. I just love it that these guys, when they get hot, and they're all hot at one time, Mario, they can put up some crooked numbers, and boy, have they put on a show here at Target Field.
Yeah, they've all gotten hot at the same time, and that is really one part of the story. The other part has to be the starting pitching, Simo. Sanchez on Tuesday night, really good, and then Boyd last night was pretty good as well, and so when you look at the starting pitching, they're getting it done as well.
Well, you love the fact that these guys now are pitching with tremendous confidence and a whole lot of trust, and it did start on Tuesday night with Anibal Sanchez. I thought Sanchez pitching 7 innings, only giving up 3 runs, 2 punch-outs. I thought he was fantastic, Mario. He had that real good fastball command to both sides of the plate. He mixed in a real nice changeup. And then on last night, it was the young fellow, Matt Boyd, 6 innings, gave up 3, made a couple mistakes, but he punched out 7. Well, how did he do it? Aggressive fastballs on the inside part of the plate. He elevated some fastballs, and he was able to use that changeup. And today, it'll be Daniel Norris. He'll have to pick up the slack. He'll have to continue the role that the Tigers starters have been on this series. And you love that he's got that 95-mile-per-hour fastball. He has the ability to go out and shut down this Minnesota Twins offense.
All right, now the Tigers have won 7 consecutive games here in Minneapolis. Let's make it 8 today. What do you say?
Let's do it.
After a short break, we'll send you back to the Call Sam Studios. Check in with Trevor Thompson. How about J.D. Martinez? He sits safely in 14 straight. Tigers Twins series finale next. Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by Comerica Bank. Raise your expectations of what a bank can be when it's time. Come to Comerica and find your summer of performance with great deals at the Jeep Summer Clearance Event. Tigers fans filing into Target Field here today. Plenty of them as well. Tigers and the Minnesota Twins wrapping up this 3-game series here in Minneapolis. And the Tigers going for the sweep here this afternoon. Ian Kinsler will start things off for the Tigers here today. The Tigers starting lineup presented by the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Kinsler back in there after a day off yesterday. It'll be Collins in center field. Cabrera's at first. Vmart DHing today. JD Martinez has been awfully hot in that hitting streak. Justin Upton in left. You got McGee, McCann, and Romine rounding it out for the Detroit Tigers. And they are facing the right-handed offerings of the young Jose Barrios.
Well, Barrios comes in with a live arm, Mario. Got a fastball that gets up to 97 miles per hour. He'll use his sinking fastball with late life on it. He also mixes in a hard-breaking slider, and he's got a changeup that's starting to be a plus pitch for him. He's got some good arm action with that particular pitch. Look for the Tigers to take the same approach that they took against Duffy yesterday. This young man here likes his fastball, and the Tigers are a fastball hitting team.
And so Barrios, who is only 22 years of age, he turned 22 in the month of May, going to work now against Ian Kinsler, who's ready to lead things off and ready to get the bat rolling. He has been in a bit of a slump. That's why he got the night off last night. Ian batting .275 on the year. He'll be followed by Collins and Cabrera. There is no Cameron Maben today. He'll get the day off. And Eric Ibar not playing either. So some changes for the noon start here locally. Barrios ready, and here we go. The first pitch of today's game is fouled straight back, 0-1. Kinsler will like to jump you every now and then. He's got 20 homers this year. 63 runs driven in. And Barrios steals outside. Run the count to 1 ball and 1 strike. $93 runs scored this year for the Tigers leadoff man, Kinsler. He'll drive this one to center field, straight on a line, and Danny Santana for the out. 1 away. And we'll check out the rest of the Twins defense, brought to you by Tim Hortons.
Well, in the outfield, you have Grossman, Santana, Kepler. At the corners in the infield, you got Escobar, Plouffe. And then up the middle, you got Polanco and Dozier. And behind the plate, you got Centeno.
And Jose Barrios on the hill, and he goes back to work now as he faces Tyler Collins and sails one outside, 1-0. 94 on that fastball from Barrios. That'll miss outside, and the count rolls to 2 balls and no strikes. One of the things they're working on with Barrios, Simo, is you'll notice in his delivery he kind of curls the ball behind his back before he delivers to the plate. And they're trying to streamline that a little bit, help his command a bit. But he's still very young, and from what we understand, still very coachable.
Well, when he does that, though, he hides the baseball and makes it tough for the hitter to pick that baseball up.
You didn't like facing guys that had this kind of deception, I guess, so to speak?
No, I didn't. It's tough because you don't get a chance to pick the baseball up early out of their hand. They hide it well, and then all of a sudden it jumps on you. And when you have a live fastball like this young man, 95, 96 consistently, one of the things that's been his issue is command of that fastball.
And he's got a one-out walk here as Collins reaches. Barrios faced the Tigers back in May, and it wasn't pretty. In fact, he couldn't get out of the first inning. He allowed 8 runs in 2/3 of an inning. And then later that night was sent down to AAA.
Well, he'll have to be more efficient. He'll have to throw some more strikes. I think that's one of the things that the Twins are concerned about.
Cabrera looks at a ball outside, 1-0. Well, Miggy's had a great series himself, 7 for 10 in the series for Miguel. And Cabrera checks his swing. He did not go, according to Field and Culbreth.
You always know when hitters are locked in at the plate, Mario, because guys' takes are even better. They're very soft on their front foot when it lands. They get to good separation where their front foot's down, hands are back.
You know, some guys have even said you can tell how a hitter's going more so by how he takes a pitch than how he's swinging the bat.
Well, a lot of times when guys are jumping and they're rushing, it tells you that they're not seeing the baseball well. But as we've seen here of late, these guys have seen the ball extremely well. They're picking it up extremely early out of his hand, and that's why they have these damage numbers, hitting the ball out of the ballpark.
Missed it inside again with a fastball, and the count on Cabrera now goes 3 balls, 1 strike. So Barrios, true to form here, having trouble with the command of the fastball.
A lot of hitters, 3-1 count, which is a hitter's count, would look to pull this baseball, get a pitch middle in that they could hammer and get the bat head out in front. But Miggy's a different hitter. He tries to stake through the baseball.
And he'll take his walk. Back-to-back walks here in the first inning. 2 on and 1 out now for the Tigers. That'll bring a visit out to the mound as Centeno goes to the hill. Well, Menards brings you the big money encounter, and this is what you're talking about, Craig. Really struggling with that fastball command.
Yeah, and then when you start to look at the opponent's batting average off the fastball, it's a 362 clip. I believe that number is extremely high because the fact that he falls behind in the count, a lot of 2-0, 3-1, those are real good hitters counts. And guys don't miss good fastballs over the heart of the plate that often.
Especially the middle of this Tigers lineup. Victor Martinez stands in, 4 for 9 in the series. And Victor looks at a strike called. He put a wrinkle in one there.
But a lot of times you'll see pitchers do that. They can't command the fastball, so they'll throw an off-speed pitch, a slider, changeup, just to get a feel. And hoping that they'll get a good feel for that breaking ball, which will allow them to have that same feel for a fastball.
The 0-1 pitch is way outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, Martinez has done some of his best work on the road this year. 338 road average, and only Jose Altuve of the Astros has a better mark away from home. Tigers have scored first in the first 2 games in the series. Trying to do it again today. Popped him up. Shallow left field. Charging is Grossman. He's under it. And there are 2 gone. Well, today's field conditions are presented by Ace Hardware and the Scotts Company. How about these numbers, Simo? 72 degrees outside today. Beautiful.
It is. It's absolutely beautiful here at Target Field.
It was humid the first couple of days in the series, but a gorgeous walk to the ballpark here this morning. And now day baseball here in Minneapolis. JD Martinez with 2 outs. Martinez 4 for 10 in the series, a 14-game hitting streak. And he'll look at a strike. 0-1.
Tigers did all their damage last night's contest with 2 outs. They put up a 9 spot against the Twins.
Yeah, all of their runs coming with 2 outs, and the Tigers pretty much in command most of that game. They had the big 5-run inning and tacked on some runs late. There's a check swing. Did he go? Yes, he went around, said Fielding Culver. And already a couple of check swings that we've had to have an appeal on.
Yeah, it appeared on that particular check swing there, Mario, that he did go a little bit too far. But look for JD to make the adjustment. Obviously 0-2. We talk about hitters letting the ball travel, thinking the opposite way.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out, and Barrios pitching around 2 walks here in the first inning. His first strikeout of the ball game. First, Brian Dozier will get things started. Their starting lineup today presented by the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. And for the Twins, it'll be Dozier, Polanco, Grossman at the top. Grossman 9 home runs this year, followed by Plouffe, Sano, and Kepler. Bottom 3 today, Escobar, Centeno, and Santana. They are not playing Joe Mauer again today, his second day off. And Dozier now with that power bat from the top of the lineup steps in. 30 homers this year. The first one from Daniel Norris is inside.
It's going to be so important for Daniel Norris, Mario, to pound the strike zone.
There's a strike called, and Norris presented by Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical today.
He's got a 3.81 ERA. And again, we talked about the command. He gets himself into trouble, Mario, when he's a little erratic. But he has great mound presence. He's got a real nice fastball, gets up to 95.
Bouncing ball to third, backhanded pick there by McGee. 1 out. Here's the Tigers defense today, presented by Beaumont Health.
Well, take a look here at the Tigers defense. In the outfield, you got Jay Up, Tyler Collins, and also JD Martinez. And then up the middle, you got Romine playing shortstop. Ian Kinsler back in the lineup. And at the corners, you got Casey McGee and Miguel Cabrera. Behind the plate, Captain America James McCann. And on the bump, Van Man Daniel Norris.
She got Captain America behind the dish. She got the Van Man on the mound.
Yes, sir.
Anybody else?
Well, you got the Caballo at first base.
That's right.
Miguel Cabrera.
Forgot
That's
about
right.
The Caballo.
Yes, sir.
Here is Polanco. And he rolls one to third. Right there is McGee on the grass. Good start there for Daniel Norris. Couple of ground ball outs.
Well, he's already early establishing that he's going to throw that fastball on the inside part of the plate. That's a welcome insight for me because it's going to do wonders for him. It's going to open up the outside part of the plate for him all night, where he can go to that breaking ball or that changeup and really do an outstanding job of keeping these guys off balance.
Here is Robbie Grossman batting in the 3 slot here this afternoon. Grossman hit a ball in the second deck in the ball game last night. He has some power. Batting .263, 9 home runs this year. Norris with the 0-1, swing and a miss, 0-2.
Take a look at the swing last night. He got a pitch in his happy zone there. And boy, did he unload on that particular pitch off from Matt Boyd.
Twins last night hit a couple of home runs. Grossman and Dozier both solo shots. Ooh, that one just missed. 1-2 the count on Grossman.
Take a look at this pitch right here, Mario. Ooh, that caught the corner.
That'll dive inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
If you're a hitter, you like that it was called a ball, but if you're a pitcher, you absolutely hate it. You want that pitch because you want to live out there. Obviously, this team is dangerous when you make mistakes over the heart of the plate.
Rip back up the middle over the heart of the plate into center field. So Grossman has a 2-out single. Twins have their first hit. Bring up Trevor Plouffe. Norris almost flagged that ball.
Well, he's very athletic on the mound. Fills his position well. Not able to make that play. That ball was absolutely drilled up the middle, though.
Got a good indication of how good of an athlete Norris was in his very first Tiger start last year in Baltimore. Made a diving play on a bunt. You don't normally see pitchers diving for balls, but he's got that kind of attitude and kind of athletic ability.
And they say pitchers are not athletic.
That's right.
This young man is.
1-0 on Trevor Plouffe. A couple of RBIs last night for Plouffe. He's playing first base again today. The Tigers throwing 2 consecutive lefties, so Joe Mauer hasn't played the last 2 days. And back to first goes Norris. Grossman, not a whole lot of speed down there at first base. Only one stolen base this year. Tigers trying to win their 8th consecutive game in this ballpark. And they have controlled the season series as well. Line down the left field line and foul. It'll bang up against the wall. 1-2 on Trevor Plouffe.
Norris will still have to pay attention to Grossman over there in first base. Obviously, he wants to get into scoring position for Trevor Plouffe because he drives in some runs. One of the things is a base runner there against the left-hander, you go first move. So if Grossman's going to steal a base, look for him to go first move.
Draw another throw down there at first. So Grossman back in standing up. Here's what we're talking about. The Tigers have won 9 of 11 between these two teams this year. And really, you take away that Cleveland season series, which you can't, obviously.
No.
The Tigers are in pretty good shape.
Cleveland has been a thorn, no question about that.
Runner goes, and a swing and a miss. He struck him out. Plouffe is out of there. That'll end the inning. Norris gets his first strikeout. The red-hot Justin Upton starting it off for the Tigers.
Yes, he got a fastball that was running in on his hands, Mario. And what was impressive about it, that he pulled his hands, in extremely well. And he hit that ball. I mean, it was an absolute missile to left field.
Everything these days coming off the bat very hard from Justin Upton, who has seemingly turned it around very quickly in the last couple of days. It started with, well, I guess the third game in the Boston series when he hit that ball off the center field wall. And then on Sunday had a big day. And Barrios missing inside. 2 balls and no strikes on Justin Upton.
He's been a streaky hitter throughout his career. But when he gets in one of these kind of zones, he has the ability to put the team on his back and carry him.
Way outside, 3-0. So Barrios, who walked 2 in the first, is on the edge of walking another here in the second. Tremendous talent, has been regarded as one of the best pitching prospects in the game. And he's taken all the way. Strike called.
These guys can be tough to face at times. We call it effectively wild, because you can't, as a hitter, you can't get comfortable in the batter's box.
Ball 4 outside, leadoff man on. the third walk already for Barrios. Hey, stay tuned to Tigers Live following the game. We'll select the Fox Sports Detroit Tigers player of the game presented by McDonald's. Stop by for your breakfast favorites now being served all day. And in the interest of being fair, Simo, we're going to let the truck go first today in picking the player of the game.
Okay.
So we're waiting on their pick, and then we'll pass that along, and then you'll be second.
All right. I'm ready. I'm ready to go.
Oh, the truck is gone with Ian Kinsler.
Wow, my Tiger, they took him.
They snatched him.
They did.
They knew. See, they were doing some pregame planning here.
Yes.
They asked you?
They did.
You said Kinsler?
Yeah, well, I thought about it.
Yeah.
I said he was due.
All right, truck and half Kinsler. Who do you got?
Well, I'm going to go with Andrew Romine in the bottom feeder in the ninth hole there.
The bottom feeder.
I'm a fan of the bottom feeders. Listen, I was down in the bottom of that batting order in 2006, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, that's
when the bottom of the order in 06 was hitting like 1,000 home runs. So that was a pretty potent lineup.
We took it personal down there, Mario.
It's Casey McGee, the batter here. And he fouls it off. All right, so we've got Kinsler, we've got Romine, and I'm going to go with, I got a hunch today. I'm going with Tyler Collins.
Wow.
Yeah,
I like that call. I like that.
All right, so there you go.
I like that we didn't just go from Miguel Cabrera.
Oh, yeah, that's too
Victor
easy.
Martinez, J.D. Martinez, J-Up. They're all locked in. Okay. I think Andrew Romine, that's a good call. Tyler Collins, that's a nice pick right there, Mario.
Another ground ball foul. Of course, I had Miggy last night, and he had a 4-hit night, so I guess I win.
You could have followed it up, huh?
I could have, but that wouldn't be fair. There's my guy right there, Tyler Collins. Can have a big day. He's already got a walk. McGee waiting on a 1-2. And Upton draws the throw. Justin does have the ability to steal a base. He has 8 of them this year in 10 tries. McGee is 1 for 8 in the series. And the runner goes. Oh, what a huge jump. There's going to be no throw at all as Upton steals that one on Barrios.
Barrios never stopped him, never looked over. Give up to some credit there. He knew exactly. He was off and running, and Barrios never looked over there. And he cruises in to second base.
Is it too late there for somebody else to step off?
No, I think that's exactly what has to happen. But when you start to talk about a young Minnesota Twins team, guys just didn't respond and let him know.
Flare to right field. On the move there is Kepler, still coming. Nice sliding catch. Kepler with a sliding play in right. 1 gone.
Kepler showing off some range right there on that particular play. He's showing his athleticism. Nice, outstanding play. Runs a long way, and then nice catch with the slide.
Upton unable to move up.
Tough play right there for Upton to move up. Not sure if Kepler was going to get to that baseball. And so you want to go halfway, because if it does drop, you have the opportunity to possibly score there. And Upton's close. He's close. Then he realizes that Kepler made the catch, so he stays there at second base. But he's in scoring position right now.
Here's McCann. Bender missing low, 1-0 on James McCann.
Murray, I always felt like when you're facing guys that are a little erratic, not sure if they're going to be around the plate, as a hitter, you have to hit to your strength. And so whatever your zone is, you have to be focused and patient enough to get that particular pitch.
There's a strike called on a ball that got away from Centeno. Well, McCann, like Upton, maybe not to the level of Upton, has shown some signs of breaking out of a season offensively that has not been up to the standards he kind of set last year. But really, when you look at the numbers, got 10 homers. He's knocked in 39 and missed much of the early part of the season. The 1-1. He went around, said home plate umpire Jim Reynolds.
He also made some mechanical adjustments. And again, when you make mechanical adjustment, it takes you some time to gain some trust and some confidence in that approach. And I think that's what James McCann went through early when he was scuffling. And now you're right, he's trusting that approach and he's hitting the baseball well.
Pulled to the shortstop out of the reach, and Polanco into left. That'll move up into third. He'll stop there, and McCann with a 1-out single. And the Tigers have something going now here in the second.
Nice little slider here, and he's simplified his approach. Look at him get the front foot down, stays back, and allows the hands to work alongside the hips, and that was beautiful. Hitting that ball through the hole there to the left field.
Here is Andrew Romine now with a chance to do some damage for you here, Simo.
Well, I'm counting on him today. He's my pick to click.
Willie had a big 2-run single in the 8th inning last night, which tacked on some runs for the Tigers. 2-out 2-run single. And he shoots this one. Oh, what a diving play. Dozier to second. He threw it away. A run will score. McCann all the way to third. They're going to stop him there. And to second base goes Romine. What looked like was going to be a spectacular double play turns into something not so good for the Twins.
Well, the Twins have had trouble on the defensive side of the baseball. They lead all Major League Baseball in errors. And in this particular play, Dozier made an outstanding play, but just wasn't able to finish that play. Take a look at this, though. I don't know how he even got to this ball. An outstanding grab there, diving grab, and then he throws it away.
And so the Tigers get a run.
Look at him lay out for that. That's an outstanding play. But again, you have to be able to finish that play off, and Dozier wasn't able to get the ball to Polanco at second base.
Now the infield in a couple of steps as Kinsler stands in. They ruled it a fielder's choice RBI, and then an E4 as he makes the wild throw.
Well, he had trouble getting that ball out of the glove, and you can see it right there. Didn't really get the full grasp of that baseball.
Kinsler hammers one toward left center field. That ball is going to get down. It'll go all the way to the warning track. 1 run scores. Here comes Romine rounding third. He will score, and Kinsler with a 2-run double. 3-0 Tigers. So Ian back on track.
Take a look at this swing here, though. Got himself a breaking ball. It stayed over the middle of the plate. Kinsler getting that front foot down, pulling the hands in real nice. Stayed back on that breaking ball as well. And the truck pick already doing work.
The truck is slapping right now.
Yeah, they are.
A little noise coming out of the truck. He was 1 for his previous 30. And he's driven in 2 here to make it 3-0 Tigers. Paul Molitor's got to be thinking, man, not another long day. Tigers had 17 runs in the first 2 games of the series. Here's Tyler Collins. Fouled back 0-1.
They're really taking advantage of the Minnesota Twins' young pitching staff in this particular series. These guys have continued to fall behind in the count, putting the Tigers in very good hitters counts. And even when they get ahead in the count, Mario, they have not been able to bury those breaking balls and get the Tigers hitters to chase.
Collins shoots one in the air to shallow center field, and it's going to be caught there by Santana. This will be the second out of the inning. Holding at second is Kinsler. And now Miguel Cabrera. So for the 3rd straight game, the Tigers have scored first. And now we'll see if Miggy can add on. Cabrera walked in the first. 3 walks already for Barrios. There's a ball low and away. Barrios came into this game with a really elevated ERA. He had great career numbers, but that 9.28 ERA coming in was the highest in Twins history through the first 8 major league starts by any player. There's a bouncing ball to third, fielded there by Escobar. That'll end the inning. A good inning for the Tigers. 3-run frame highlighted by Ian Kinsler. 2-run double. 3-0 Tigers. Sports Detroit brought to you by Bell Tire. Get the lowest tire price, period. Bell Tire. And by Chevrolet. More than you expect for less than you imagine. That is the Hennepin Avenue Bridge, which is directly over Mississippi River. There's a strike called as we go now to the bottom of the second. Miguel Sano leads it off. Sano, Kepler, Escobar. Daniel Norris, a 3-0 lead to work with. Sano is 1 for 7 in the series. Here's the 1-1 pitch. It'll bounce in 2-1. By the way, Simo, I was informed that the studio is upset at us because they were not allowed to pick their player of the game.
No.
So we're going to get the studio's pick in. They go with Miggy.
They went with Miggy.
They was, you know, there's no creativity.
No, not at all.
But that's okay. There's a ball outside.
But I get it because he's hot. He's hitting what, well over 360 here.
Absolutely.
At Target Field. So I get the pick.
Oh, it's a strong pick.
It's a strong pick. I mean, we could have went Jay up.
Sure.
I mean, JD Martinez.
High towering fly ball, center field playable for Collins. Drifting a bit, one gone. That'll bring up Max Kepler. So far so good for Daniel Norris. He surrendered a single in the first, but no damage done.
He's pounding the strike zone. I think that's where it starts for Daniel Norris. He's got to be efficient in the strike zone, move the baseball around. We talked about the fastball that gets on you quickly as a hitter.
There's a strike called. Kepler at 254, 15 homers. He had a series earlier this year against the Indians, and Cleveland, for whatever reason, has struggled against the Twins. But in that series, Kepler had 10 RBIs and 4 home runs.
Well, you can kind of see why. He's got a very solid approach at the plate, very smooth. Seems to understand the strike zone. And again, he stays on the baseball. He drives the ball to all fields.
15 homers this year for the rookie Kepler. He'll shoot that one on the ground to first. It'll be a foul ball.
Kepler, a very mature young man. Talking to Joe Barber, their bench coach, a couple days ago, and they love this kid. They think that this kid's going to be the real deal. They love his athleticism. They love his approach at the plate. He's got an absolute strong arm.
checked it, and he did not go, says C.B. Buckner.
Every time you say that name, I just can't help but chuckle a little bit.
Now, why do you laugh?
Well, because it's just, I've been bitten by that bug a whole bunch of times.
He's a lightning rod.
Yeah.
Full count now, 3-2. Kepler, there's CB.
He's been around for a long time.
CB had the plate last night. Down at third base today. Here's a drive in the air toward left, not deep. Upton is under it. 2 gone now, and as we check out the standings, Tigers have a chance to sweep here today. And you know what? Cleveland right now with a 5.5 game lead. Simo, we were talking about the fact that they're playing Texas the next 4 days.
And it's going to be tough down in Arlington at Globe Life Park. That team is playing great baseball. Their lineup is long. 1 through 9, they're strong. Their pitching has not been bad at all. They've got a decent bullpen.
They are facing Cole Hamels, I believe, tonight in game 1 in that series.
That won't be easy.
Never is.
He's one of the game's best lefties.
Eduardo Escobar batting .261 with 2 outs, nobody on. We're in the second. Tigers on top 3-0 early. Little looper back at first. Miggy can't get it. It'll drop in, a base hit. A bloop single for Escobar.
Yeah, take a look at this play here, though. Miggy, the big fella, getting on his horse, and then just off the end of the glove, not able to make the play.
Second hit of the ball game for Minnesota. That'll bring up Juan Centeno. Centeno is 0 for 3. Caught the first game in the series.
Centeno's a contact guy with Escobar at first base. Look for him to possibly try to steal a bag here. And again, we talked about when the base runner gets on base, and especially facing a lefty, in order to steal that base, you try to go first move. And you want to get an aggressive lead.
Flared foul back out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike on the native of Puerto Rico, 26 years old, Juan Centeno. Big league time with the Mets and Milwaukee over in the National League. Throw back, and Escobar back in there. Twins came into this game having lost 6 consecutive ball games. They have 77 losses on the year now, so they are already thinking about next year, trying to finish up as strong as they can, but still a relatively youthful lineup. Another toss. And if you're Paul Molitor, it's a little bit disappointing, Simo, when you consider they were 83 and 79 last year and seemingly were making strides to getting back to being a playoff contender.
Well, I truly believe they're missing the leadership of Torrey Hunter.
Here's the 1-1. Low, ball 2. Well, Tigers know all about the leadership that Torrey Hunter brought to their clubhouse.
Well, he just brings that edge, that football mentality. He pushes guys. He gets the most out of guys. I got a chance to play some golf with him this offseason, and that was one of the things that he talked about, you know, getting these guys to prepare, to work harder.
Low, ball 3. Twins this year started the season 0-9 before they finally beat the Angels for their first win of the season, and then they had an 8-game losing streak in May. So from the get-go, they were really behind the 8 ball this year.
Yeah, I just think there's something to be said too, Mario, about a veteran leadership inside a clubhouse, especially one that's won and had success in their career.
Runner goes, then a swing and a foul back. 3-2 now on Centeno. Here you go. The Twins went from a .512 winning percentage in 2015 to where they are right now. That's the largest decline in win percentage.
How about the Angels too? I mean, they've struggled this year with Mike Trout in center. I mean, he's putting up tremendous numbers, but then you start to look at the Pittsburgh Pirates. I think in large part because McCutchen hasn't been the player that we've seen and come to love.
Yeah, those two teams a surprise on that list. Runner goes on 3-2, grounded right to Cabrera, and that'll end the inning. No runs, 1 hit, 1 man left, 2 in the books. Tigers up 3-0. As we go to the top of the third here at Target Field, Bernstein Advantage brings you the scouting report, and we're going to really kind of zero in on the middle of the Tigers lineup in this ballpark, and the numbers are just kind of gaudy.
Well, here you got to think about these guys' approaches at the plate. All of these guys have something in common to me, and they use the entire field. They are gap to gap with tremendous pop.
There's a strike called on Victor Martinez.
And this ballpark, Mario, allows you to get rewarded. Again, they hit at spacious Comerica Park on a consistent basis, and it's 420 dead center.
Victor shoots one right up the middle and into center field. He beat the shift. They weren't quite where they needed to be. The second baseman Dozier couldn't get to it, and a leadoff single.
And being here over the last 3 days, well, yeah, watching the guys take batting practice and all that good stuff. The ball's just flying, and he gets through the infield extremely fast. And this is D-Mart beating the shift right here with a nice line drive, ground ball hard up the middle.
Here is J.D. Martinez, who struck out in the first. Tigers have their third hit of the game as J.D. looks at ball one.
The Twin starters throughout this series have tried to crowd J.D. Martinez with fastballs on the inner half of the plate.
There's one that missed inside, and the count goes 2-0.
And then going to that slider down and away, which he chased in his first at bat. Look for J.D. to make the adjustment. Student of the game.
High fly ball, shallow right center field. It's going to be the center fielder Santana. 1 out. That'll bring up Upton. Justin a walk, and eventually stole a base and scored a run in the second. Hitting with supreme confidence these days.
Yes, he is.
And his numbers are starting to elevate because of that. He is 11 for 21 career right here at Target Field.
And if you notice, Tiger fans, they've staying away from Upton today because he's absolutely hammered balls on the inside part of the plate the last few days.
And they stay away again, 2-0. Upton now has multi-hit games in his last 4 straight to kind of turn things around. The 2-0. He'll take a swing and roll it slowly toward the shortstop. He'll get the out at first base. Upton is gone 6-3. Advance Martinez to second. They might have had a shot there at getting Victor at second base, don't you think?
I think they did have a shot. Jorge Polanco, not knowing who, he didn't know who was running. You got to know who's on the bases, and right here he had an opportunity. Comes in on the ball extremely well, though. Cradles it and has an opportunity there to maybe get Victor, but I'm glad he didn't. Gives Casey McGee an opportunity to drive in a big 2-out run.
Cash it in, Casey. He flied out to right field his first time up. McGee now 1 for 9 in the series. And foul back out of play. It's going to be interesting, and Brad Ausmus talked a little bit about this before the game today on what they're going to do when Iglesias comes back, and that subject was broached with the skipper, and he said, well, he's not going to necessarily play every day because if Ibar continues to play well, then Eric might get some reps at short as well, and not third base like we thought might happen.
Well, he's swinging the bat extremely well, and so you don't want to take him out of the lineup. Might take.
There's a bouncer up the middle and a diving stop. Dozier. He's going to throw, not in time. A one-hopper to first base. They almost got the runner.
Yeah, Dozier's made 2 outstanding plays, showing off the range a little bit.
Can't believe that was as close as it was.
Ball on the inside part of the plate. Casey McGee hits it up the middle, but Dozier, I mean, showing tremendous range there up the middle. Casey McGee sniffing, though. You're sniffing when you hit that ground ball up the middle. You're sniffing. But take a look at this play here. Lays out again. This time going to his right from his knees. Makes the throw, but not in time. Casey McGee beats it out.
Infield knock, and that'll bring up James McCann with 2 outs. Ball 1 to McCann. Single scored a run in the Tigers' third, which right now remains the difference in this game.
McCann no longer has that high leg kick. He simply puts the front foot down, gets his hands back, which allows him to pick up the ball early and make better decisions.
You know, one of the best I think that I've seen this year at that style of hitting is Ian Kinsler, just getting that foot down really quiet and then just attacking the baseball.
He started that in his days with Rudy Jaramillo, who was the hitting instructor in the Rangers organization early in his career.
Missed outside, 2-1.
And also, if you get a chance, you watch Nelson Cruz. He's from that school of Rudy Jaramillo as well. And these guys punt that front foot down with their hands back. And again, it just allows you to have a short, compact swing. You see the baseball extremely well. You give yourself more time.
Way inside. It'll roll away from the catcher. Only one man will advance, and that's McGee, as Victor thought better of it and turned around and headed back to third base.
He made the right decision there. Victor not fast enough to make it home on this particular pass ball. A wild pitch.
Pass ball, they ruled it. And that's where the lack of speed hurt the Tigers there. Martinez did not go on normally a ball that would have scored a runner from third. 3-1. Full count now on James McCann.
That's a good 3-1 hack right there, guys. You don't want to get cheated. When you get in those good hitters count, young hitters, 3-1 count, be aggressive, get a pitch in the zone. That pitch was over the heart of the plate. James took a very aggressive swing to that particular pitch, and now with 2 strikes, now you can shorten that swing. You can let the ball get a little bit deeper, think more towards the center to right center part of the field. That way it allows you to stay back on breaking balls, on change-ups, put you in a better hitting position.
Driven to center field. Santana's on the move, still going back. He looks up, and James McCann has hit it off the top of the wall and out. Wow, McCann with some major power to right center, and the Tigers get 3 more.
McCann flexing his muscles. Big fly to dead center.
Number 11 for James McCann. It's 6-0 Tigers.
Take a listen. The 4-seam fastball again. Berrios trying to get that fastball out away from James McCann, but he didn't get it out far enough, and McCann was able to put a really good swing on it to drive in 3 runs.
Number 11 for James, and the Tigers have a 6-0 edge now. Bases are empty with 2 outs. And a swing and a miss by Romine.
But I take you back to the 3-1 count. He took a very aggressive swing there, and that's what you're supposed to do. Be aggressive in your zone, try to get the bat head out. He fouled it off, and then he said, all right, I got to let this ball travel a little bit deeper. And he did, and he hits a bomb to dead center field.
Yeah, 427 for James McCann on that homer. Romine pops it up, shallow left. And look out, there's a collision between Grossman and Polanco. And Polanco is down and hurt. They'll hold on to the baseball for the final out. But the shortstop Polanco is on the ground.
That's why it's so important to communicate. The outfielder there has to be screaming, yelling, I got it, I got it, I got it. And I know it's loud, it gets loud out there, but you got to keep saying it. You got to keep saying it until the infielder hears you.
Well, Polanco is going to be okay. He gets to his feet. They record the final out.
I mean, take a look at it right here. You got to be saying, I got it, I got it, I got it. And they were bad communication there as far as I'm concerned.
And that was actually Grossman that caught the ball. The big blow, though, off the bat of James McCann. Home run to center field. The Tigers lead 6-0. 3-run shot, and the Tigers now lead 6-0 as we go to the bottom of the third. And Daniel Norris now with a nice comfy lead to work with as he goes to work, facing number 9 hitter Danny Santana. Santana, Dozier, Polanco in the third for the Twins. Santana fouls it back out of play, and the count quickly 0-2.
And now with the big league, Norris has the ability to just relax a little bit and stay focused, because it's going to be important for him to stay focused, pound the strike zone, even though he has this big lead.
Missing high, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Santana playing center field in the ball game today. We mentioned the youngster Byron Buxton is back down in the minor leagues, one of their top prospects. That'll miss inside. And really, when you look at a couple of the guys, they were, I think, expecting Buxton to get to the big leagues this year and perform, Barrios to get to the big leagues and perform, but those two guys, who are a huge part of their future, have struggled at least early in their major league careers.
Well, it's one of the reasons why this team has lost as many games as it lost. The guys that they betted on to be consistent and to develop at the major league level, it just hasn't happened for them.
Well, you can even throw Sano in there. There's a ground ball to second base, gobbled up by Kinsler. 1 away. We check in now with John Keating.
Mario, you know this, and if you're an avid viewer of Fox Sports Detroit, you know it as well. I have a history with mascots, at least 2 mascots back in the day. It has to do with a bottle of hairspray. And so yesterday, there was TC the Bear leading a parade, and because it's sort of my habit, I'm just politely urging the mascot, just move it along, keep on walking. Well, apparently TC got word of me asking him to move it along and was ticked. And so today, during the pregame show, he actually made an appearance, standing behind me, giving me what I think was probably a disapproving glare. So literally, I poked the bear. You can't do that.
Terrible.
I should know better.
TC is such a friendly bear. I can't imagine him glaring at anybody.
Oh, it was a glare. At least I want to believe it was a glare.
You've gotten a couple of glares shot your way through the years, Keats.
Indeed.
By the way, we're not going to let you go without explaining the hairspray thing in Chicago a couple of years ago.
Oh, man. Well, it was mascot day at U.S. Cellular Field, and there were, it felt like 1,000 of them. And so I was on the field, and one of the mascots actually reached into my briefcase, pulled out the little bottle of hairspray I had, and proceeded to pump it all onto my hair as I'm live on the air. And the producer, who's in my ear, she couldn't even talk. She was laughing so hard. So I was out there on my own, and I was sticky for most of the day.
All right, man. Take care. Stay away from those mascots.
You got it.
All right. Meanwhile, Norris strikes out Dozier. 2 gone here in the third.
Speaking of mascots, my daughter Morgan, oh my God, if she sees one of those mascots,
is that right?
Oh, she goes the other way. I mean, and it scares the bejesus out of her.
Oh, it scares her.
Oh, it scares her. She's out. She's running.
That's not the purpose of the mascots.
No. I said, Morgan, they're not going to do anything to you.
Here is Jorge Polanco now with 2 outs. Tigers lead 6-0. There's a strike called on Polanco. Polanco a bounce out of the first. He'll drive one in the air toward left field. Upton is on the move to the warning track, and that'll be a 1-2-3 for Daniel Norris. No runs, no hits, nobody left. John Keating getting the stare down from the friendly bear here in Minneapolis. Only Keats. Top of the fourth, it'll be the top of the Tigers lineup. Ian Kinsler gets it started for the Tigers. And the first pitch is grounded towards short, flattened out there for Polanco. And one gone. Time for a game break now with Mickey York. Yeah, we don't like to do it, but we have to do it right now because we're going to lean on Texas.
Oh, absolutely. I'm with Mickey. I've got my pom-poms, and Tiger fans, let's all get our pom-poms and let's root for the Rangers against the Cleveland Indians.
Tyler Collins looks at a ball inside. Now, it's not out of the question that the Rangers could take 2 out of 4, maybe more in that series. And so with the Tigers coming up a series against the Angels, the schedule's starting to really fall into the Tigers' favor now, but we kind of figured that.
Yeah, well, when you look at the games that we have left, especially the games in the division, we got 8 left against the Minnesota Twins. We're playing some teams that are under 500, not playing good baseball.
Can we get a do-over with Cleveland, though? They won't let us have a do-over.
Well, there's no do-overs. No. There's no do-overs.
But you see there are still 7 left against the Tribe and plenty of time to do some damage against Cleveland. Angels, Baltimore, Atlanta, the other teams outside of the division. Collins, a walk and a fly ball. He is 0 for 1.
This is a fun time of the year as a player. Every game counts. Every game is a meaningful game. The focus change.
Outside, and the count fills now 3-2.
And I love the fact right now that the guys, as we talked about earlier in the broadcast, the middle of our lineup, guys clicking on all cylinders at the same time.
And there's another walk for Collins. It'll be his second of the game. Hey, this Saturday, the Tigers take on the Angels at 7:10 p.m. It's the District Detroit night. Experience the new world-class sports and entertainment destination. The first 10,000 fans receive a Detroit Tigers and the District Detroit cap. For tickets, go to tigers.com. District Detroit taking shape very quickly. Here is Cabrera. Ball 1 to Miggy. Now, Craig, you talked about this being the time of the year where players really have to focus now because playoff spots are up for grabs.
Yes.
Back in that 06 season when you guys went to the World Series, I remember Leland saying all the time, look, we're going to lose some games down the stretch. Let's not freak out about this. Let's kind of enjoy the ride.
Well, you have to. And that's one of the things, though, we kind of did. We did start to freak out a little bit because we were winning some games, and all of, from 03 losing 119, and then 2006 all of a sudden we find ourselves in a playoff race. We go, the young fellas, we start to feel the pressure a little bit, like, oh my, we're in the playoff, we got a chance here.
Yeah.
And we started to panic a little bit, and down the stretch we struggled, but through and through we were able to weather the storm, so to speak, and get ourselves in the playoffs.
And it was a great lesson. You can win the wild card and go to the World Series.
Yes.
2 outs now, and here is Victor Martinez. And Barrios hits the outside corner, a strike. Barrios has walked 4 batters in this game. So far, only 1 has come around to score. Yanked foul back in the seats. 0-2. What do you got on the ratio here for Barrios?
Well, not good. Let's just say that it's not good at all. And again, for a starting pitcher, you have the ability to make your fastball, if you're able to command it in all 4 quadrants of the strike zone, 4 different pitches. And when you're not able to do that, you put the hitter at an advantage.
That'll dive low. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Martinez. Well, the Tigers 6 runs on 5 hits this afternoon. They got 3 in the second, big 2-run double by Kinsler, and then 3 in the third, the 3-run shot from McCann. Just off the plate, and now Vmart has the count of 2-2. J.D. Martinez on deck. Way outside, so he's gone from 0-2 to 3-2. Again, Barrios still very, very young. He is only 22 years of age, out of Bayamon, Puerto Rico. Was ranked the top prospect for the Twins in 2016 by MLB.com. Runner going, and it's fouled back out of play.
Well, you see why he's ranked high. I mean, he's got a live arm. He's got a good fastball. But again, command has been an issue. He takes advantage of aggressive offense to where they're chasing pitches out of the strike zone. And the Tigers are having none of that in this particular series. They've done an outstanding job, Mario, of being patient, getting good pitches to hit.
Well, he's got really not a whole lot more to prove in the minor leagues. 21 games over 500 in the minors and a 2.88 ERA. Again, the 3-2 with the runner going. Ball 4. It's another walk for Barrios. That'll be his 5th of the game. And that, in a nutshell, right there, the season for Barrios. He had Vmart 0-2, and he ends up walking him. That'll bring up J.D. Martinez now.
That's the biggest jump, though, for a pitcher and a hitter from the minor leagues to the big leagues. A lot of guys have a lot of success in the minor leagues, but until you start to have success at the big leagues, you don't fully believe that you're capable and able to be a productive player here at the major league level.
Well, he got all the platitudes and all the accolades. I mean, he's been recognized as having the best curve, change, and control in the Twins system, and all of a sudden you get to the major leagues and sometimes those things will disappear. There's a soft roller towards second base. Dozier, and JD is out to end the inning, so nothing comes of the pair of walks for the Tigers. FS1, Chris Bryant and the Cubs battle the Dodgers, and then the Tigers tangle with Mike Trout and the Angels. Action begins Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern on FS1, or watch it live on Fox Sports Go. Back to work goes Daniel Norris. He leads 6-0 as we go to the bottom of the fourth. Robbie Grossman leads it off for the Twins. It'll be Grossman, Plouffe, Sano. Bouncing ball to third, scooped up there by McGee. 1 out. Time for T-Mobile's greater coverage of baseball. David Ortiz homered in the ball game last night, Simo, and now that gives him 30 home runs this year.
And he's talking about retiring at 40 years old, still hitting 30, on pace of driving well over 100.
Jeff Francoeur acquired by the Marlins. Rich Hill finally made a start for the Dodgers, and it was a good one. Coming off the disabled list. It's a high fly ball to center field for Plouffe. Collins coming over. Daniel Norris, a couple of quick outs. There was nothing better than a one-pitch out.
Not at all. Not if you're the pitcher. As a hitter, I'm thinking, no, man, I just missed that pitch.
Here is Miguel Sano. That is 6 straight retired by the Tigers lefty. Sano fly to center field in the second. Last night he snapped an 0 for 24 slump with a single. Taking all the way, and it's a strike. 0-1.
Well, you see that a lot, especially when the guys swing at the first couple pitches. You don't want to allow the pitcher to get out of an inning only throwing 4 pitches. So you're told to take that first one, try to work the count to get him to throw some pitches in this particular inning. But I like how Daniel Norris is working. He's pounding the strike zone on the inside part of the plate.
One and 2 on Sano. 20 homers this year, but a low batting average. Swing and a miss. Daniel Norris cruising through the fourth. A 1-2-3 inning. He's retired 7 straight. Coming up, Jay up. He'll get things started in the 5th for the Tigers. Sweep of the Minnesota Twins. They lead 6-0, and they've got Justin Upton leading it off here. It'll be Upton, McGee, McCann facing Jose Barrios, who's had a bumpy 4 innings so far. There's a swing and a miss by Jay up 0-1. Upton walked, stole a base, scored a run in the second. Tigers took command with a 3-run second, 3-run third. And Barrio steals a strike, now 0-2. One and two on Upton. Barrios in that first start against the Tigers early in the season at Comerica. We mentioned he lasted just 2/3 and then was sent down in the minor leagues. He walked 4 batters in the first inning. And he got him strike 3. He caught Upton looking, 1 gone. A September 10th, a Star Wars night when the Tigers battle the Orioles at 7:10 p.m. Special ticket offers include a Tiger Star Wars cap and a donation to Stand Up to Cancer. Available exclusively at tigers.com/Star Wars. Make your plans to be there with the Orioles in town. Big swing there by Casey McGee. Infield hit for McGee in the third. He has scored a run. Swing and a miss.
Barrios don't have real good fastball command, Mario, but today he seems to have a good feel for that breaking ball, and he's thrown some real good sliders.
Oh, we got him looking, strike 3.
He's got a real good feel for that particular pitch. And again, you can see why the Twins are high on this young man. Look at the bite. Freezes McGee right there. It's well located.
Third strikeout of the game for Barrios, and 2 of them coming here in the 5th. Here is McCann. Almost 300 in his last 20 games, and James 18 RBIs in that stretch. So there you go. That's how he has turned things around. And you might remember McCann hit his first major league home run in this ballpark last year. It was an inside the Parker, which doesn't happen very often.
I was just thinking that. I'm like, can't believe he got it inside the Parker.
Especially for a catcher.
But he runs well. He runs well for a catcher.
That he does. And he was running that day.
Yes, he was.
From home to home.
I was running.
Here's the 1-1 pitch.
Just a little gump there. Yeah.
1 and 2. It's pretty good, actually.
Oh, that's one of my favorite movies. I watch it all the time.
I was running.
I was.
James also a single to go with his homer, and he drives one to the gap in left center. It's going to be a 3-hit day. That'll go all the way to the wall. McCann is on his way to second, and James pulls in with a double.
That's a real nice piece of hitting, too, by James McCann. Again, we saw him hit the fastball away on a 4-seamer to dead center field for a home run. But this slider here, he stays back, keeps his hands back, stays down on the baseball. Take a look at the slider. He's a little bit out front, though, but look how he keeps the hand back and stays through that baseball. So important, young hitters, to hold on to that angle and not rolling that ball over. He stays down and through that baseball, which allowed him to drive that ball in the left center gap. And there's the speed we're talking about.
There it is.
Picking him up, putting him down.
Yeah, he is. He is a triple short of the cycle. Miggy last night was a triple short of the cycle and hit a ball to the gap in right center field. And we were just hoping he was going to go for it.
I love the dugout reaction. JV was leading the charge. Come on, make it keep going.
Yeah, he'd have been out by 100,000 feet.
He would have been out.
But it would have made for good television.
Yeah, it would have.
2-0 the count on Romine. There you go. 34 hits now for the Tigers in this series.
I mean, they've really put on a clinic. They drove the ball to left center gaps. They hit the ball to right center gaps. They've hit some hard line drives, like through guys. They've played long ball. Love it when everybody's getting into the action. It feels good in that dugout.
Romine pops it up. Shallow left field, long run for the left fielder Grossman, and this time Polanco peels off.
Yeah, he wants no parts of it.
Nope. Tigers baseball presented Our next opponent, the Los Angeles Angels. They have been struggling, 53-73, and in 5th in the West. Pujols and Trout, well, they're still performing. The probables, Nolasco, Chacin, and Skaggs to face the Tigers in that series. Norris goes back to work, and he looks at takes a ball outside. That is Kepler up there.
Tiger fans get a chance to see two of the game's best, and Albert Pujols, who I believe the best player all around playing the game, Mike Trout.
Bouncer to third, right at McGee. 1 out. Yeah, it'll be an interesting series. I think the Tigers certainly should have the advantage being at home against an Angels team that right now is nowhere near the club that was playing earlier this year.
And they've also played really good baseball at home this season as a whole.
How about Norris now? He's retired 8 straight.
Well, his tempo. He's getting the baseball. There's a lot of trust between him and James McCann. He's not shaking off. He's throwing every pitch with conviction.
You mentioned that word tempo, and sometimes that can be a tricky thing because it appeared Simo in his last 2 starts, he seemed really amped up in the first couple of innings and maybe got ahead of himself a little bit.
I would agree. I felt like he was a little juiced up a little bit, but now it seems today he's a little bit calmer. And if you notice, the quality of his pitches are down. He's keeping it down south of the knees. He's using both sides of the plate.
Little bouncer to the second baseman, Kinsler. 2 gone. Well, we told you who the Angels are throwing in that series. The Tigers, meanwhile, will counter with Verlander, Fulmer, and Sanchez. Pretty good.
All of these guys pitching extremely well right now. I like the matchups. The offense clicking. Should be a good series at home.
2 outs now for Centeno. Strike 1 on the Twins catcher. Centeno hooked one on the ground to the first baseman his first time up. He's 0 for 1. Daniel Norris has lasted 5 innings in 14 of his 18 major league starts, so he's not been able to go deep into games, and that's the next step for Daniel, who seemingly will be able to do that today.
Daniel's also had trouble, obviously, with command, but he's been pitching ahead in the count. But yet the guys still foul off a lot of pitches against him, not able to put them away. But today's been a lot different. I'm encouraged what I'm seeing from this young man. He's got top of the rotation stuff. Nice breaking ball. Today's showing a lot of confidence too in that particular pitch as well. He's thrown it at first pitch. He's thrown it ahead in the count. He's thrown it behind in the count to get back into count.
He has allowed just 2 hits in this game, both singles early, and that's it. Swing and a miss. Centeno is down, and 10 in a row retired by the left-hander Daniel Norris. He's on a roll. What a gorgeous day here in Minneapolis. The Tigers in command here, 6-0 in the 11th. Game summary this afternoon. What a big day for James McCann here this afternoon. SEMO 3 for 3, a 3-run homer in the third, and man, we talk about Upton, but he's starting to turn it on now too.
He really is, and that's a welcoming sight. When you start to look at what the guys at the top of the batting order is doing, the guys at the bottom have to contribute. And you like James McCann down there getting busy. 3 for 3 today. That nice 3-run home run to center.
Meanwhile, new pitcher now. Barrios done for the day. Michael Tonkin comes out of the bullpen.
Well, Michael Tonkin stands about 6'7". He will throw downhill. He also has some life on his fastball. Fastball gets up to 97. Has a real nice slider, but he has some arm movement on his two-seam fastball in on the right-handers, away from the lefties.
Daniel Norris has done great work today. Barrios threw 97 pitches to get through 5 innings, and it looks like Kinsler is hit by a pitch to start things off in the 6th. Leadoff man on for the Tigers.
Now that's that two-seam fastball that I was talking about with that arm side movement, and it's in on Kinsler. A little bit too far in. He gets it. Sprays him a little bit.
Here's Tyler Collins. Collins with a couple of walks in this game. He's also fly to center. Little low 1-0. Collins 4 homers, 12 RBIs this year, getting the start in center field and batting in the 2 slot. Maben getting the day off today, as is Ibar. There's a bouncer foul down the first base line.
I was talking with Tyler Collins early in the season down at the ballpark. He was talking about the adjustment that he made from last year to this year. He was trying to shrink the strike zone. He felt like that he was chasing too many pitches out of the zone, pitches that he couldn't really handle. And early on, he worked that approach to perfection.
Well, Collins has some power. He has shown that this year. Had that big pinch hit home run in Chicago. There's Cabrera waiting on deck.
Well, he has the right thought process. Again, you want to hunt pitches in your particular strike zone that you like.
Three and 2 now as Tonkin falls behind. Runner goes, and a foul back to the screen. Kinsler on the move there. Brad gets a runner started here with nobody out. Tonkin right now is 5th in the American League in innings pitched among relievers, so they've leaned on him quite a bit this year. And runner goes again, but it's ball 4 high, and the Tigers have 2 men on. Nobody out. Here's the Magic Moonshot presented by Magic Window. We want to flash back to do this. August 25th of 07. It took a while. The Tigers finally beat the Yankees at 3:30 in the morning on this Carlos Guillen walk-off home run in the 11th. A 4-hour rain delay. The game didn't start till after 11. And SEMO, we were there till 3:30.
No way.
And everybody wanted to buy Guillen breakfast because he ended that game, man.
I bet they did.
We were looking at possibly seeing the sun come up at the ballpark.
3:30?
3:30 before it finally ended. Cabrera now with 2 men on and nobody out. Drill to center field. Santana comes over. 1 gone. Runners hold. By the way, Twins pitching in this game with 6 walks. That'll bring up Victor Martinez.
Yeah, the Twin pitchers can't seem to find the strike zone today, and the Tigers are taking advantage of it. They have absolutely took some great swings. They've barreled him up. They've hit the ball extremely well today. And throughout this whole series, guys putting together a solid approach.
Tigers had 14 hits in each of the first 2 games. They have 6 more today to go with their 6 runs. Victor, a walk and a single plus a run scored. Here's a drive toward left center field. Santana on the run, not going to get there. It's going to drop in for a base hit. Gets by Santana. The Tigers will try and score 2 runs here. Throw to the plate, not in time. 2 more in on the hit by Victor Martinez.
Victor Martinez standing inside that ball gap and going into the left center gap. But Mario, I absolutely love Tyler Collins here at first base. You got to see the base running here. He knew right away that that ball was getting down, and he was off and running. Just a nice base running right here. Take a look at this pitch here. Out over the plate. Victor didn't pull off of it. Stays through it. Stays on that baseball. Ball fading away from the center fielder, Santana. Santana not able to make the play. Grossman throws it back in, but man, how about Tyler Collins scoring there from first base?
And so the Tigers now add 2 more. They lead 8-0. 2 more RBIs for Victor Martinez. Kinsler got it started, hit by a pitch, then Collins walked. Fouled back out of play. 0-2 now on JD. It's 4 straight games now. The Tigers have scored at least 8 runs. And Martinez looks at the ball. It gets away from Centeno. And it's been September of 2011 since the Tigers have done that. One and two. Rolled foul right back for the Tiger dugout. Tigers trying to win their 4th consecutive game, and they have gotten it done with men in scoring position. 5 for 14 today.
They've simply just taken what the pitcher gives them. And we've watched it time and time again, Mario. When the fastballs are away from them, the guys are staying on it and hitting it the opposite way. They're keeping their hands back on the breaking balls, change ups, giving themselves a chance by going chopping in the left center gap.
Meanwhile, Norris has done the rest. He has pitched with a lead all day long, and that lead has ballooned to 8-0. In the air to right, Kepler coming over. That'll be the 2nd out of the inning. Martinez holding. Tigers fans, this Sunday, August 28th, is Gloves for Kids Equipment Collection Day at Comerica Park. Please donate your new or gently used baseball or softball equipment to benefit youth leagues in Michigan. Donations can be made at Gate A near the D Shop from 11 a.m. till the end of the 2nd inning. First 200 fans to donate receive a free gift. For more information, please visit tigers.com. Now Justin Upton. Upton, a strikeout, a ground out, a walk, and a run scored. He's also stolen a base. Two and 0.
I like this count for Upton here. 2-0. Again, Tompkins trying to stay away from him. Upton looking for a ball for sure, middle in, that he can get the bat head out to.
High ball 3. Twins pitching already with 6 walks in this game. McGee waiting on deck.
Well, they're really allowing the Tigers to have their way with this pitching staff.
And there's the strike as Justin was taken all the way there. 3-1.
You love these kind of days as a hitter where the pitcher can't find the strike zone. You're up in the count every single at bat. Not only Upton, but everybody's been up in the count, getting good fastballs to hit.
And really, it's been that way all day long. I mean, Barrios started the game by walking 2 guys in the first inning.
Well, and there's the crooked number on the board, and that's the reason why. These guys haven't put any pressure on the Tigers. Not a lot of 2-strike counts.
High pop-up, shallow right field. Dozier back, and coming in is the center fielder Santana. That'll end the inning. Tigers grab a couple of more runs. Vimar drives in 2. It's 8-0 Tigers. Next on AFN, the American Forces Network, broadcasting to the U.S. Armed Forces serving around the world on land and ships at sea. We welcome you all. And Daniel Norris goes back to the mound here. Tigers up 8-0 in this one. Norris facing Santana, Dozier, Polanco. 9-1-2 in the Twins lineup.
Norris looks real good out there tonight. Mario, look at the pitch count. 65 pitches, very efficient.
Working with a great rhythm, and really has been since the first pitch of this game. He allowed a single by Grossman in the first, a single by Escobar in the second, and literally that's it. And he gets ahead of another hitter, 1-2.
Well, even for pitchers, the game can speed up on them. You want to go out and pitch well so bad that a lot of times you get in your own way. But that has not been the case with Daniel Norris today. I mean, the tempo is nice. He's slowing himself down. Again, he's throwing quality strikes in the strike zone. He's done a good job of changing speeds. Has a good feel for that breaking ball.
And he missed high and away. Well, the other thing that's really kind of exciting is to see how Boyd and Fulmer and Norris are pitching down the stretch here.
Yeah, they're 3 Bulldogs. And you can tell when they take the bump, they take it with a purpose.
Hit the other way, and a diving stop. Kisler to his feet. Got him at first base. What a play by Ian. That's about as good as it gets down there at second. They're going to want to look at this, apparently. We'll see.
Kinsler reads that ball right away off the bat, gets a nice jump on that ball, lays out for it, gets up in a hurry, and gets the ball over to Andrew Romine now playing first base. Nice play right there. And it looks like he got him.
Oh, he is out.
Do it, Kinsler.
What a great play. Norris says thanks. Appreciate it. Good job.
Trust in the defense, pound the strike zone, trust your defense, and let the boys make plays.
Tigers have made some defensive changes in this inning. Romine now playing first base. Miggy off his feet for the rest of the day. There's a ball down low to Brian Dozier. Eric Ibar is the new shortstop.
He's played well since putting on the Tigers uniform.
And Ibar will bat in the third spot on the Tigers lineup. It'll go all the way to the backstop. 2-0. Dozier is 0 for 2, a strikeout and the ground out. Hammer to left, but it's going to hook foul. Here's the Chevy Silverado most dependable player. It is Brian Dozier since the All-Star break. Here are the ranks. He leads all players in the American League with 16 home runs.
33 RBIs. Look at that OPS.
Swing and a miss. 2-2 on Dozier. Dozier with homers in each of the first 2 games in the series as Rogers, the lefty, begins to heat it up now. Taylor Rogers. Ground ball to third, foul. .75 now for Norris, and really the only inning in which he went beyond the 15 or 16, which is where you like it to be, was the second.
Yeah, struggled a little bit in the second, but right away, the third and the fourth was efficient.
Pulled fair inside the bag at third base. That'll bang against the wall and left. And Dozier is in with a 1-out double. Time for a game break now. We check in with Mickey York. Yeah, today's been enjoyable, definitely. This entire series, guys, has been enjoyable. And the Tigers doing what they have to do, taking care of business against the Twins team that has scuffled this year.
Well, I've enjoyed watching this laser show that the Tigers has put on in this particular series.
All we need now, Steve-Mos, is just set it to music. Little laser show.
That's it.
Well, the Tigers today have 7 hits, and most of them have been Rockets. Polanco the batter with a man at second and 1 out. Here's the 1-1. Popped up foul, back out of play. 1-2 on Jorge Polanco. Polanco, 23 years of age. He showed a little bit of power at AAA, 9 home runs. Still trying to figure out where he fits into this Twins team. Been playing some short, can also play some third. They feel he has the arm strength for the third base position. Here's the 1-2. Norris brings it home. Time was called by Polanco, and Norris just brought it home anyway.
Yeah, I thought Polanco there called it a little late. Surprised that the umpire even gave him to it. But this is where pitchers can hurt themselves, so I like the fact that Norris continued his delivery. Slowed down a little bit, but still delivered the baseball. keeping that rhythm that he has going.
Swing and a miss. Polanco's out of there. We check in now with John Keating.
Mario, we had told you that Jordan Zimmerman was going to make a rehab start in Toledo tomorrow as he tries to make his way back from injury. The update is that it's zombie apocalypse night at Fifth Third Field tomorrow in Toledo. They're going to have the cast of The Walking Dead there. There are going to be characters who are dressed up like zombies. And while some places have, kids run the bases after the game, they're going to have crawl around the bases after the game. I mentioned this to Zimmerman. He just rolled his eyes and said, great, I'll be gone by then. Of course, he'll get his work in, probably 40, 45 pitches or so, and then make his way back to Detroit. So he's going to miss part of the fun on zombie apocalypse night in Toledo tomorrow.
Keats, the zombie is also an adult beverage, too. I'm just pointing that out.
I did not know that.
It is.
I am here to learn from you, sir.
We'll go over this after the game, okay?
Is this what happens on the banks of the Red Cedar at Michigan State back in the day?
Maybe back in the day a few nights, but not anymore. Thanks, buddy. Zombie apocalypse night. And Zim wanted no part of that.
He wanted no part of that.
It's not going to be long gone. Grossman, the batter. Ground out, fly out. 2 outs and a runner at second. Ball high and away, and the count now rolls to 3-0 on Grossman. Waiting on deck, Trevor Plouffe. Here's the 3-0 pitch, and it's in for a strike, 3-1. Norris has not walked anybody in this game. He has scattered just the 3 hits. And prior to that, Dozier double had retired 11 straight. Ground ball up the middle into center field, base hit, and score run. First run of the ball game for Minnesota, a single for Grossman, and it's 8-1.
Grossman giving the Twins fans something to cheer about, Mario, because Daniel Norris was cruising in this particular game. Grossman, nice little breaking ball, nice piece of hitting there, stays on it, hit it right back up the middle. Gets the Twins on the board.
RBI for Grossman is 30th of the year, 8-1 now. And just the 4th hit allowed by Daniel Norris. Trevor Plouffe in there, strike called. Plouffe 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a flyout.
I was talking to Plouffe yesterday, and he was talking about, coming back from his injury off the DL and how the rhythm and his timing, he doesn't feel quite comfortable yet in the batter's box.
He'll hammer this one to center, but Collins is there, and that'll end the inning. Twins get on the board on the 2-out RBI single by Grossman. the Tigers certainly have called on their offense in this series and in the last 4 games, really. And look at the numbers here, Simo. It's good to see, and I'm sure Wally Joyner loves to see these kind of numbers.
Well, they're just clicking. And again, you love the fact that I know it's the Minnesota Twins guys, and they haven't played well this season. But at the same time, they're putting together solid approaches. These guys are capitalizing on all mistakes. And then you add in the fact that the pitching has been outstanding. The bullpen has been solid. You just like how the Tigers are playing baseball right now.
Meanwhile, back to the bullpen go the Minnesota Twins. The left-hander Rogers is in now. He'll deliver a strike. It's a wall side windows pitching change.
Taylor Rogers come in though with a 3-pitch mix. He's got a fastball, gets up to 94, likes to throw that slider down and in to the right-handers, down and away to the lefties. And he also mixing a changeup, Mario, to keep these guys off balance.
He'll go to work here against McGee, McCann, Romine, the bottom 3. That'll sail outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Taylor Rogers stands 6'3", but only 170 pounds. And he tried to hold up, and that ball hit him, so McGee's going to take first base.
Yeah, that's that slider that I was talking about that he likes to throw down and into the right-hand hitters. That one got away from him a little bit, went too far. Look how that ball coming in hard down at that back leg. That's what the lefties like to do with that slider, getting right-handers to swing over the top of that pitch. But he hits McGee with that particular one.
That is the second hit batter for the Tigers today. Kinsler was hit in the 6th and scored a run. Now McCann. Bouncing ball to short, could be 2. Polanco to second, 1, and the relay a double play. Hard hit ball turns into a 6-4-3, 2 gone. That'll bring up Romine. Andrew has an RBI in the game, otherwise 0 for 3.
That's a
ball got back into the seats quickly.
It's always scared me when the ball goes in the stands like that fast and that close.
0 reaction time really on a lot of those foul balls. That's going to be a fair ball inside the line at first base. Extra bases. Romine motoring to second, and he's in with a 2-out double.
Okay, Romine.
There's your guy.
There's my guy. Nice double there with 2 outs, getting himself in the score position. Kinsler has an opportunity to drive in. Romine. Like how he stays on this baseball here, down and away from the left-hander, fading away from him. Didn't roll it over, stayed through it, hitting it where it's pitched.
Kinsler on base twice in this game, doubled in 2 in the second, also hit by a pitch and scored a run. And Ian looks at a ball low. Taylor Rogers, a native of Littleton, Colorado. Big league debut this year. High towering fly ball to center. Santana going back. Track. Wall to make the catch. Right at 403 in dead center. That's it for the Tigers. No runs. They get a double lead of a man. Coming up the McLaren Health Plan 7th inning stretch. 8-1 Tigers.
Here at Target Field, only because we love to follow a great social experiment. We went looking for the self-serve beer station that they have here at Target Field that they unveiled with great pomp and circumstance a year or so ago. You buy a vending card and then you are charged by the beer you pour yourself by the ounce. We're thinking this is revolutionary, right? Well, as it turns out, it was an idea well before its time. Alas, Mario, the self-serve beer station no longer exists here at Target Field. It was to change stadiums all across North America.
There's a drive to the gap in right center. Sano is on his way to second, and he is in with a leadoff double. Simo, I ask you, does it strike you as odd that Keats would go out and find a beer story at a ballpark?
Not at all.
No.
Only in that I wanted to see how it worked. Certainly not to taste anything. When it was announced, they said, well, some people will only want 3 or 4 ounces of beer at a time.
Okay.
Yeah. Right.
Right.
Okay.
In what world?
Sure. Certainly not going back to the Michigan State thing. Certainly not at Michigan State University back in the day.
Easy.
Oh.
All right, buddy, thanks.
You got it.
Well, I'll tell you what, man, I thought it would be a good idea, but apparently not.
Well, I thought it was a good idea too, but it didn't work.
No, maybe a zombie center, a free pour your own zombie. Leadoff double, ground ball to the right side, diving stop again. Kinsler to his feet and throws out Kepler. That'll advance the runner, 1 gone.
Another solid play. Yeah, another solid play by Ian Kinsler at the second base position. But this is what he does. He goes there, get a nice jump on that ball, lays out for it, gets up, knows he has time, and gets his man.
Second diving play of the game for Kinsler. That'll bring up Eduardo Escobar. And Escobar looks at a ball inside. He's 1 out of 2 in this game. Here's our high-speed pitch brought to you by Xfinity. 94 is how high Norris got today, touching 94. 1-0 is hammered to left, base hit. That'll get a run in. RBI single for Escobar to make it 8-2. '32nd RBI of the year for Eduardo. It's going to be it for Norris, it appears. Tigers have Kyle Ryan warming up, and he's probably going to come into the game here. The Tigers have made the call. So Norris gets into the 7th today, did an outstanding job. He will give up the baseball. It's a wall side windows pitching change, and we'll be back to Target Field.
Keep the Minnesota Twins off balance, pitching aggressive inside. And today it's Daniel Norris. He's done the exact same thing, taking a page out of Boyd's book. He's pitching aggressive inside, nice fastball, throwing a real nice changeup, and he elevated that fastball to get some swing and misses. Another nice performance by the young pitching of the Detroit Tigers.
You got to love it. 93 pitches thrown in this game for Daniel Norris. He will give the baseball now to Kyle Ryan. With a run in, one out, big wave and a miss there by Centeno. Here are the numbers on Mr. Ryan.
Yeah, he's been very good here of late. He's left 12 outings, 12 appearances. He's got a 0.71 ERA. That's just getting it done, Mario.
You got to love it. Ryan could be a very valuable asset from the left side of the Tigers bullpen.
I like the fact that not only does he get lefties out, he has that ability to get right-hand hitters out as well. I like how he attacks the right-hand hitters aggressively on the inside part of the play with that real good slider, down and in tool. And then he simply fades that changeup down and away. And he's also not afraid to pitch to contact, and I think that's important coming out of the bullpen. You have to trust that you can throw quality strikes in the strike zone. And Kyle Ryan has done just that.
Yeah, you don't want to be walking out of the bullpen walking people.
Oh, no.
That's fouled back out of play. The other thing is Ryan gives the Tigers two pretty good lefties, Justin Wilson the other, and although Justin has struggled at times here in the second half, when you've got a couple of lefties you can depend on down there, it certainly makes life a little bit easier.
Well, it gives the opposing manager something to think about. It's a tough matchup when you have lefties coming in, guys that are efficient, have good fastballs.
Sliced right to the third baseman McGee for the out. Two gone. There is some action in the bullpen for the Twins. That is Brandon Kinsler, the right-hander.
Well, he's been closing games for the Minnesota Twins here of late. Hadn't gotten much work in this particular series, so I'm sure they just want to get him tuned up a little bit and ready for the next series.
Here is Santana. A run in the 8th, 6th, and a run in the 7th for Minnesota. They've gotten on the board with a couple. It's a bouncer to second base for Kinsler, and that'll be it. So Ryan comes out of the bullpen, gets a couple of outs. Tigers lead 8-2. Tigers baseball presented by Bell Tire. Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by Comerica Bank. Raise your expectations of what a bank can be when it's time. Come to Comerica. Your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers, visit ChevyDetroit.com. See why Chevy drives the Motor City. Wall-side windows, we can do that. We are the factory. And by Infinity, visit your local Detroit area Infinity retailer for a test drive today. Back here in Minneapolis, we go to the top of the 8th, and the Tigers leading comfortably right now 8-2. The Twins go right back to the bullpen. Brandon Kinsler will take over.
Kinsler's another flamethrower out of that Twins bullpen. He's got a fastball, gets up to 97, 98 miles per hour. He also has an outstanding slider. It's a wipeout slider. It's his out pitch. He's their closer, but again, not had the opportunity. The Twins have been trailing this entire series.
Originally got into the big leagues with Milwaukee, was part of the Brewers bullpen from 2010 until last year. Kinsler now will face Tyler Collins here in the 8th. First pitch is hammered to left, but slicing away and foul. Just out of the reach there, Polanco, the shortstop. Collins, Ivar, Martinez for the Tigers here in the 8th.
Tigers have a very comfortable lead. On a getaway day, it's nice. Not a lot of stress.
Always nice to travel after a big sweep if the Tigers can get it. Still some work to be done. But the Tigers eliminated a lot of the stress for Daniel Norris early in this game by getting him 6 quick runs.
They really did. They allowed him to relax and focus on simply pounding the strike zone, allowing the defense to work. We've seen Kinsler make 2 outstanding plays. The guys are on the balls of their feet because he was working fast and efficient. It was fun to watch him.
Collins rolls one to second base. Dozier is there. Here are the numbers on today's starter, Daniel Norris.
They speak for themselves. 6 1/3 innings. Like the fact that Mario, he didn't walk anybody. Tiger fans got to be encouraged by that. He also punched out 5. The mound presence was nice.
And also good to see him go into the 7th inning today.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
You know, he mentioned that Daniel, in many of, if not most of his starts, had gone 5 innings or fewer. This is Ibar's first at bat of the game.
And he has the stuff to pitch deep into ball games, and so it was good to see him go out and do that today.
0-2 on Ibar. Era came on in the game last inning defensively as the Tigers took Cabrera out of the game. Outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
He's had a real nice series. Got himself a fastball on the inside part of the plate. Dialed long distance to right field, which is rare. He's more of a contact hitter, bunt, slashing.
And Ibar went from a team Atlanta, which was in last place in the National League East, to a team Detroit, which is smack dab in the middle of the pennant race.
Yeah, I asked him that. I asked him about that a couple days ago when we first got into town. I go, that's a nice change, huh? Nice change of pace. Playing for Atlanta Braves teams that's struggling, come to a Tiger that has an opportunity to get in the playoffs.
Down he goes. 2 up, 2 down for the Tigers here in the 8th. And tomorrow the Tigers host the Angels at 7:10 p.m. Fans are invited to stay after the game for a fireworks spectacular. For tickets, call 866-66-TIGER. Buy with no fees at the Comerica Park box office or visit tigers.com, whichever way you'd like to do it. But be there, though. Now Victor Martinez. Driven deep to right field. Kepler is on the move, still going back. He looks up, and that ball is off the wall. Victor is on his way to second, and he is just ahead of the throw. It'll be a double for Martinez.
Victor continues to swing the bat well here at Target Field. Got a good fastball that he could handle, and he didn't miss it.
His second double of the game, his 3rd hit of the day.
The boys in the middle of the lineup just taking advantage of every mistake that the Twins pitchers make. That was one there by Vmar off the right center wall. Kepler made a nice play on it, though, getting it in.
Meanwhile, J.D. Martinez will try and advance his hitting streak. J.D. is 0 for 4 in the game. Right now it's a 14-game streak. Bouncing ball to short. And Martinez is out. That'll end the inning. No runs, a double, one man left. To the bottom of the 8th we go. By the Michigan Office of Highway Safety Planning, tomorrow the Halos are coming to town. Ricky Nolasco, who used to pitch for the Twins, against Justin Verlander.
Must see TV. Looking forward to that matchup.
JV going for win number 14. Here come the Twins now as we go to the bottom of the 8th. And Minnesota has the top of the lineup, Brian Dozier.
Vintage JV, I'm sorry.
Well, hopefully that vintage JV will be on display again tomorrow evening. There's a chopper to the shortstop. Ibar scoops. One gone. Always interesting this time of the year to take a look at the standings. The Tigers 3 games out of the wild card right now. We mentioned that Cleveland is starting a 4-game set in Texas this evening, so that's not going to be easy.
No. I love it when you ask the players, are you scoreboard watching? And the first thing they go is, oh no, I'm not doing that.
No.
I tell them, stop it.
It's much too early for that.
We're all watching the scoreboard.
Except we've been watching it for a month now.
Yeah.
Now, you used to when you were a player, didn't you?
Absolutely. And don't believe these guys when they tell you that they're not.
Yeah.
It's everywhere. I mean, it's in every ballpark. And so you're always peeking back at the scoreboard, trying to see what the other teams are doing. I mean, it's human nature.
That ball's hit pretty well to right center field. Collins, long run. Can't get there. Up against the wall. Extra bases. Polanco trying for 3. And he has a triple. One out, 3 bagger for Polanco. That's his second triple in the series.
Here's a little two-seam fastball that Polanco stays on, keeps his head down, stays through that baseball. And we've talked about his speed, and it was on display right here. I mean, that's just smooth. Easy triple by Jorge Polanco.
Now Robbie Grossman with 1 out. Ball 1. Grossman an RBI single that got the Twins on the board in the 6th. The first run they scored against Daniel Norris. Daniel charged with 2 runs here this afternoon. Ryan missing high, 2-0. In there, strike called on the outside corner. It looked like it might have been a touch outside, but not so, says Jim Reynolds. Two one is a ground ball to second base, picked up there by Kinsler. He'll throw him out. It'll be an RBI for Grossman. Polanco scores to make it 8-3. It's the first run that Ryan's given up in 10 innings. Two gone. Well, we mentioned the Tigers are taking on the Angels, and it's a team right now that is 20.5 games back behind Texas in the West.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming. Not when you have Mike Trout, Albert Pujols in the middle of your lineup. From a pitching standpoint, the team's just struggling. Yeah,
they've had some injuries last couple of years as well. Garrett Richards, who was on his way to becoming a big-time ace in this game, has been shelved. Trevor Plouffe with 2 outs. Ryan's 1-0. 2-0 on Plouffe. I was reading an article when Plouffe went down to the minor leagues on his rehab, Simo, and they were using the 20-second pitch clock.
Oh, yeah.
In those minor league games. They're using it in the minor leagues to test it out, and it may become part of big league life soon. We'll see. But he said it did move the games along quite a bit.
Well, I can see it moving the games and making them a lot quicker. But at the same time, I'm a hitter, so there's times where when I'm in the batter's box, and my mind, the brain starts to work. I start to overthink it.
Right.
I do like to step out of the batter's box where you just kind of gather myself and try to clear my thoughts so I can go in the batter's box with a clear mind.
Well, Plouffe has picked up a walk here with 2 outs.
But I understand they want to speed up the game. There's no question about that. I get it.
Well, Plouffe's point that obviously when you're on rehab, it's much different than playing in meaningful games,
yes,
you know, late in the season. But he said it really didn't disrupt my flow or what I tried to get accomplished at the plate, and it did keep the game going. But it's something that Major League Baseball is looking at potentially doing in regular season games. Meanwhile, Rich Doobie coming out of the dugout now to chat with Kyle Ryan. And the Tigers have the left-hander Justin Wilson warming up. Eight 8-3, Tigers have the lead. Here is Miguel Sano.
Always wonder what pitching coaches, being in left field, wonder what pitching coaches come out and tell and talk, you know, say to the pitcher. And I've asked them, and they just simply say, just relax, calm down, trust your stuff, pound the strike zone.
I wonder how many of those visits are actually visits where the pitching coach notices something mechanically with the guy, or more so is it, as you mentioned, hey, let's give you a blow here, relax, you know, I don't know.
I think it's hard.
Throw strikes, whatever.
Yeah, that's it. I think it's tough if the pitching coach came out and started talking about mechanical adjustments.
Right.
Because now all of a sudden, I'm not focused on throwing strikes.
Yeah.
I'm focusing on whatever the mechanical adjustment that he was talking about. So I hope that's not the case when they do go out there, because I couldn't imagine a hitting instructor saying, time out, I'm coming to the batter's box to tell you to keep your elbow in. I mean, come on.
Well, nor can you go out there and say, hey, man, let's just calm down here and throw strikes. What do you think I'm trying to do?
Yeah,
I'm trying to throw strikes.
That's exactly what the pitcher says. So you think I'm not trying to throw strikes?
2 balls and 1 strike on Miguel Sano. Drill to left field. That's going to get down. Base hit. On his way to third base. And in there easily is Plouffe, and Sano has himself a double. So the Twins not going away. That's going to be it for Ryan. Brad Ausmus coming out. He's got an 8-3 lead, but there are 2 men on with 2 men out. Back to the bullpen go the Tigers. That'll be it for Kyle Ryan. We'll be back. The Tigers have gone back to the bullpen now. They got another lefty coming into the game. That'll be Justin Wilson. 54th appearance for Wilson. And he will try and put out the fire here in the 8th. Second and third. After the double by Sano, it'll be Max Kepler standing in. And the first one is hit for a strike right at the knees.
Justin Wilson looking to get himself back on track here. Needs to be more efficient, Mario, with the fastball in the strike zone. He's got a real live arm, 97, 90, well, 95, 96, 97 with his fastball. He's got an outstanding breaking ball as well.
That'll get through the catcher, but it's going to come right back to McCann. A fortuitous bounce.
Hey, let's take a look at this play here. Sano hit this ball extremely hard out of the box, but really on this particular play would have loved to see Jay Up not necessarily try to cut him off with his arm, but cut him off with his legs, get into that baseball quicker and getting it in a little faster and allowing maybe a chance, giving himself maybe a chance to throw Sano out, trying to extend that single into a double.
Yeah, or at the very least keeping at first base. And Sano doesn't really run all that well, but he was able to dive in with a double.
Well, just one of the things when I was playing the outfield, and I wasn't the greatest outfielder, but the one thing that I did do, I took pride in trying to make plays. And I thought that right there was an opportunity to maybe use your legs there, get to the baseball a little quicker, and get that ball back into the infield and have a chance to throw Sano out, who doesn't run that well.
Swing and a miss by Kepler. 2 balls and 2 strikes on the Twins right fielder. There is more action in the Tigers pen. Shane Green, and it looks like he's warming up very rapidly.
Tigers have a comfortable lead. I get it.
But it can become less comfortable with a base hit here. That's fouled back out of play.
And you don't want to take anything for granted. And that's one of the things that Jim Leyland instills in his players, that you got to play 9 hard full innings every time out.
Twins have scored a run in each of the last 3 innings. Trying to crawl back into this game now. The 2-2 to Kepler. Low, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Kepler only .212 against lefties this year.
Yeah, he struggles with that ball running away from him. And for a lefty on lefty, it's tough trying to keep that front shoulder closed, to try to stay on the baseball when the ball starts behind you. But that's what righties deal with majority of the time, because there's so many righties hand pitchers in the game.
Triple by Polanco, ground ball scored him, then a walk and a double.
And being a lefty too, you come accustomed to that ball coming into you from the right-hander, and very rarely do you have to face, you know, lefty on lefty. But that seems to be the matchups now, where
that ball belted to right center field, way back. Collins going back there. It's up against the wall. 2 runs are in, and Kepler with a 2-out, 2-base hit against a lefty. And the Twins are right back in this game.
Wilson on this particular pitch left it up and over the heart of the plate, and again you start to talk about staying on the baseball, staying square. Kepler does just that, and he hits this ball one hopping actually off the wall and right. Tyler Collins does get it in quickly, but now, Mario, we got ourselves a ball game. It's 8-5.
And Escobar will be standing in here with a runner at second base. It is a 3-run 8th. They've scored 5 runs in the last 3 innings. And a once comfortable 8-0 lead has been shaved. Escobar, a couple of hits in this game. Swing and a miss. 0-1. So Wilson comes in to get the lefty Kepler, and Kepler doubles in 2. Those runs are charged to Kyle Ryan.
Well, if you're Paul Molitor, the manager of the Twins, you have to like that your team, a young team, struggling this whole season. They haven't quit.
No, they've been scrapping all day.
They really have, and they continue to battle, and they're climbing their way back into this game. Let's just hope that Wilson here can get out of this inning.
Kepler now with 55 RBIs. That is popped up in the air to shallow center field. Here comes Collins under it, and that'll retire the side. Inning over, but they scored 3 to make it 8-5. Now with our Bell Tire pitch-by-pitch.
Well, it started with Anibal Sanchez on Tuesday night. He was outstanding. Good fastball command, controlling the strike zone. And then last night, it was the lefty, the southpaw, Matt Boyd, doing work. And today, matinee, Daniel Norris, his longest outing of the season, very effective and efficient in the strike zone.
Yeah, Norris very good today. The Tigers bullpen, though, has given up a few runs. It's suddenly now a 3-run game. And the Tigers will bat here in the 9th inning. Justin Upton will lead things off. And back into the ball game, a new pitcher now for the Twins. That is JT Chagua. So Chagua facing Upton and McGee and McCann here in the 9th. 8-5 ball game, and Jay Up looks at the ball outside 1-0. Justin is 0 for 3 in the game. He has a walk, a steal, and a run scored. It's a ball outside. 2 balls, no strikes on Upton.
I'll take a couple tack-on runs here.
Oh, absolutely. Get it back into the comfort zone again.
Yeah.
Chagua, born in Sulphur, Louisiana. Fouled back out of play. 2-1.
We've got the right guy up at the plate right now to add on a tack-on run the way he's swinging the bat right now. In his last 4 games, he's hitting .500 with 3 home runs, 9 RBIs.
And he fouls that one to first base out of play. 2-2 on Upton. Broke his bat in the process. Tigers have 8 runs on 9 hits, and for the Twins, 5 runs on 9 hits. Looked for most of the day like the Tigers were going to roll to an easy win in this one, but some late inning offense by the Twins has made it a 3-run game. Swing and a miss, and Upton is out of there. 1 out. Follow Tigers baseball live with the MLB.com at bat app. Stay up to the moment at any moment with the Game Day Live game video highlights, StatCast news, and more. Download MLB.com at bat, the #1 app for live baseball on your phone or tablet. Here is Casey McGee. Bouncing ball right back up the middle. Going to be a tough play and no play for Dozier. That ball was rocketed right back through the box. Here's our big boys big play of the game. How about McCann, who's coming to the plate now? He's had himself a day.
James McCann putting together some solid at bats today, no question about that. Got himself a base hit right there, and then he played long ball to center field. And then on a real nice swing here, Mario stayed down and through that baseball, getting himself a double. He's absolutely seeing the ball well. He's doing work down at the bottom of that batting order.
Triple away from the cycle for McCann. That average now climbing steadily. It's up to 220. And McCann looks at a ball inside. McCann now with 42 RBIs on the year. Swing and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Zach Watt pulling out the little change of slide piece there on a good hitters count 1-0. James McCann a little bit out front.
Frankie Rodriguez in the Tigers pen. Bouncing ball left side, base hit. Another knock for McCann. That'll put 2 men aboard here in the 9th.
Have a day.
4-hit game for Miggy yesterday, 4-hit game for McCann today.
Makes the adjustment on that slider, one that he can handle, stays up a little bit, puts the barrel on it. Sneaking through the hole, and look at his homie over there. Just that, oh boy, I see you with your 4 knocks.
Here's Romine now, 2 on for the Tigers, 1 out. That is the first career 4-hit game for McCann. Bouncing ball to second, might be 2. Dozier, there's 1, relay. Oh, got him at first base. That was close. Romine just nipped at first. The Tigers almost assuredly will take a look at this. Ball wasn't hit all that hard, and Romine runs well. And nope, they're going to say double play, inning over. The 4-6-3 ends the inning. And he was out. So we'll go to the bottom of the 9th in Minneapolis. Today, James McCann having himself a day. 4 out of 5, a 3-run homer in this one. Daniel Norris, he was off the good. 2 earned runs in 6 1/3, and the Tigers in this series 37 hits. And they're 3 outs away from getting a sweep here, and they will bring the closer into the ball game now. Francisco Rodriguez will take over for the Tigers here in the bottom of the 9th.
I've enjoyed hanging out, talking with the boys here on this road trip, and to hear them talk with such confidence about how they've played. They still got a lot of belief that they're going to come back and chase down the Cleveland Indians.
Meanwhile, Eddie Rosario will pinch hit for Centeno. Well, the Tigers with a win here today, and with a Cleveland loss in Texas tonight, would be 4.5 out. It changes that quickly.
Well, you just got to love the attitude inside the clubhouse and the dugout. These guys still believe, and it's important when it's a 62 game grind. These guys have a lot of belief, and I think that's important.
Tigers, of course, you know, they've got to take the old cliche and say, just win today, because you can't win 5 games in one day. But if you win today, go to tomorrow, win that game. The Tigers have that ability and certainly that attitude right now. Rosario rolls it foul, 1-2. Rosario got K-Rod a little earlier this season, back in July at Comerica Park, with a 2-run homer in the 9th. A game in which the Twins went on to win. Santana waiting on deck. That'll miss inside, and the count goes 2-2.
Well, Brad getting K-Rod some work here. It's been about a week. And this pitch here is really close. Trying to go inside, but just off the inside part of the plate.
Last game was on the 18th against Boston for K-Rod. Swing and a miss, and Rosario is out of there, 1 gone. Strikeout for Frankie.
Real good fastball there, well located. Looks like Rosario was looking for that changeup. And when you're looking for a changeup and K-Rod has a good one, you're not going to hit it anyway, so you better look for the fastball. And he threw that fastball at 90 miles per hour right by Rosario.
Here's Danny Santana. Ball 1 to Santana. Tigers are 2 outs away from winning their 8th straight here in Minneapolis. McGee on the cut of the grass at third in case Santana is bunting. 2-0.
When he first stepped in the batter's box, looked at his eyes, he peeked down at Romine at first to see where he was at. He also peeked down at McGee to see where he was at, because he was thinking maybe lay down a bunt here to try to get something going here tonight for the Twins.
2-1. Santana has put the ball on the ground 3 times, and all 3 times to Kinsler. Three and 1 the count. Top of the order waiting on deck. That's Brian Dozier. Really don't want to put anybody on base in front of Dozier. With his ability to hit the ball out. There's a ground ball to second. And again, Kinsler handles it on the backhand. 2 gone. That'll bring up Dozier now.
They made Kinsler work today in this particular game. He's made a couple outstanding plays. That one was hit hard, but right at him.
Well, he had the day off yesterday, so he was he's fresh.
He is fresh. And happy, by the way.
That he's back in.
Yes, he is.
Double for Dozier back in the 6th. He is the last chance for the Twins. 0-1. Tigers 1 out away from wrapping up a 3-game sweep. And taking advantage of that soft spot on the schedule here down the stretch. In there, a strike called.
Good fastball there by K-Rod. Down and away, knowing that Dozier's a guy that likes the ball inside. Painting that outside corner.
Here's the 0-2. Would not chase high. The count goes 1-2 on Dozier. Should he reach Polanco waiting on deck?
I think K-Rod there just changing his eye level. Wanted to go up with a fastball so he can go to that real nasty Bugs Bunny changeup that he's featuring these days.
Got him, strike 3 in the outside corner, and the Tigers sweep the Twins. A 1-2-3 ninth inning for Francisco Rodriguez. The Tigers score 8 more runs again today. The offense exploding here against Minnesota. And the Tigers rolling again. They've won their 4th consecutive game. Final score 8-5 from Minneapolis today. The Tigers sweep the Twins. We'll be back to Target Field.